Hi, I'm Sandy Zuniga, the founder of Colorado Springs Town Tidings. Be in the know on the go for all things Colorado Springs, delivered right to your inbox. In today's local business spotlight, we're tackling a challenge many families face: how to help our older loved ones stay strong and independent, especially after formal physical therapy ends. My guest today is Kristen Nielsen, the founder of TogetherWon, a company dedicated to that exact mission. But she's not your typical trainer. Kristen is a former Division I athlete who has channeled the elite understanding of the human body into a revolutionary approach for seniors. She created the StrongWon at Home program and a first of its kind partnership that turns caregivers into workout partners, bringing that critical gap between rehab and real life. Kristen, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So let's go ahead, and you've got a unique background. What was that? What kind of athlete were you, and where did you grow up? And kind of give us a little background. Take us on that journey.
Okay, yes. I have a wonderful upbringing in Colorado. I was born and raised in the Denver area, Golden to be exact. And I actually was born to a wonderful father who was crazy about doing 14ers. And so, even long before it was popular, he had us doing 14ers. And so, I actually climbed my first when I was 4 years old. And then
Wow.
he had me up 31 by the time I was 12. And at that time, I wanted to start swimming. And so we stopped hiking as much. But I grew up in the Rocky Mountains for sure and just love this area. So in college, I ended up competing at the University of Washington in both swimming and then track and field as well.
Oh, wow. And
Yes.
so you went to college there, and what'd you go to college for?
I was in education.
Okay,
Actually,
great.
I got married in the middle of college, and so I ended up in graduating from the University of Central Florida. So had a lot of some stops along the way on that journey. Yeah.
I was going to say that is quite a distance.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I even had a little stay at Denver Metro in the middle. So I got to see a lot of different colleges.
Great. So then were you an athlete in the colleges?
I participated at the University of Washington, and then after that, once I was married, I did not. But it definitely being active, being involved in fitness of any kind has always just been a lifestyle for me. And having the opportunity to watch my father and actually my grandfather and great grandfather both climbed a 14er on their 80th birthday.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so, and I got to be with my grandfather when he was climbing on his 80th birthday. And so fitness was just really for me, I got to see firsthand just the freedom that it gives people in life. And that's how it has been for me, whether it's at Division I level or being able to walk outside with friends. It's fitness really gives us that opportunity to live with freedom.
Right. So then how did you transition? I believe you have four kids. Is that correct?
I do. Yes.
Okay. And where are they in age now?
My youngest is 17, my oldest is 22.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're older now. And how did you give us some origin for the Together One? What did you do as far as your occupation and kind of how it connects? Because I'm so curious about this story that I'm like, okay, I need to connect the dots.
Yeah, yeah. Well, after college, I worked in the nonprofit area for a little while. And but then once I had my oldest, Jesse, I took care of my kids. And so I was home for about 15 years with them and as full-time mama. And so However, during that time, towards the end, my good friend and I, she had a house in Flying Horse, and we had a group of ladies, and we would meet at 5:30 in the morning before our kids got up, and we would work out together. And we called it the Horseflies group because it was in her garage. And so we were just enjoying doing that, and I would help my friend lead it. And then at some point, it just dawned on us, one of us should probably get trained in this because we're going to hurt somebody. and so, and that's what began my fitness journey really as a professional fitness professional. So I ended up getting trained at that time and then just fell in love with everything in the professional fitness world.
Okay, great. So then you took it from the horse flies. Was that right?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Then you got a certification in uh
Yes.
not physical therapy, but trainer.
Yeah, personal training. I got a basic personal training certification and I started taking clients. And at that time, I was just interested in helping anybody. I didn't really have a lot of direction. Pretty soon into that journey, I realized I love working with older adults. I find that my goals of fitness being something that leads to freedom is really what older adults are after too. We want the ability to just be able to stay active and play with our grandkids and be able to get out of a chair easily and things such as that. So really, I developed a passion for working with older adults, and then after that, I have lots and lots of different certifications throughout the years, but they all center around helping the older adult. So currently, I'm enrolled in a class that is teaching me how to be a better trainer for people with Parkinson's, for example. So just a lot of different niches within that age group.
Okay. So then how did TogetherWon, and that is together WON, which I
Yes.
love. So that's one word together. How did that come about? And then you have StrongWon at home. So what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, TogetherWon is my company. So that's what I formed when I started training people individually. I formed TogetherWon. And then I've had that really, I did that part time for about 9 years until this last year when I was able to take it full time since my youngest was driving himself around. And so I have a lot more freedom. And so um, I've had TogetherWon for quite a while, almost a decade. StrongWon at Home is a program within TogetherWon. So we launched StrongWon at Home as a program that is specifically made to partner with in-home care clients and the caregivers that support them.
Okay. So what, when you started the StrongWon at home, I assume you had elder clients to begin with?
Yes, I on an ongoing basis I work with a lot of clients over the age of 60. My oldest currently is 94. She's amazing. So yes, I have a lot of experience working with this age group. I like to say too that I train their bodies, brains, and balance. So we address the things that if they were to lose freedom in any one of those, if they were to lose function in any one of those areas, it would affect their freedom. And
Right.
so I address that. So yes, StrongWon at Home is really just it's a more specific target with the group that I've already been working with for a long time.
So then you were working with them. We all know that the population is getting older in general.
Mhm.
That's just a fact. And I've seen personally a lot of decline in the older age group.
Yeah.
From your vantage point, what you told us before, your grandfathers were climbing 14ers at age 80, and
Mhm.
I assume were very vibrant in their lives. So you had that comparison between
Mhm.
what they were doing and keeping fit and vibrant to kind of what I think starts to become the norm,
Mhm.
unfortunately, in what we see around with older adults in general, not everybody, of course.
Right. Mhm.
And as that decline happens, there we've seen a lot more, I think, and I think there's science behind it. We've seen a lot more dementia, Alzheimer's, and there's always been cancer and other things, but the decline is body, brain, and balance, of
Balance.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what made you think a lot of a lot of elderly will have to go have physical therapy at some point. They
Mhm.
fell, they got sick, they're declining in one way or another. So physical therapists come in, and then if they're on Medicare, then they have a certain period of time that is allowed for physical therapy, which they're
Mhm.
trying to build them up again. And then
Yes.
that stops. And that either falls on a family member, or if they have declined enough that they have a caregiver. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, what made you realize caregivers could become a workout partner, and how to bridge the gap between the physical therapist and a caregiver?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest things in the with physical therapy, with recovering your body function, is consistency. And so, um, you know, in my work, I often will take what the physical therapist has done, and then I will incorporate that into a workout program. And then I do the workout program on an ongoing basis with my clients, but I find that my clients that are willing to do it every day, even on the days that they're not with me, they make a lot faster gains,
Yes.
and they rise to a lot higher level. And so I one day it dawned on me, there are caregivers going into homes, and they are looking for meaningful ways to engage the clients in the home. And there are so many simple exercises you can do that make a huge difference and can actually be really fun. I do a lot of brain training with my clients, and those are fun things. It's just playing games, basically.
Can you
And
give us
so
some
I realized,
examples?
as simple as tossing a ball while naming as many kinds of animals as you can. Things that combine body movement with the brain. Oftentimes too, when you're doing that with a more difficult exercise, it kind of takes your attention off the exercise, and you just realize you're just having fun, but you don't realize you're working out the same way. So I realized that if people could have workout partners that would help them continue to do the exercises on a regular basis, they are going to make good progress, and they are hopefully going to be able to get back to the place that they were before they were in PT. So I happened to be married to an amazing, brilliant man who was a software engineer. And so I came home and I said, honey, I have this idea, and all I need is an app that just that I need an app that has that is simplified, so it is easy to navigate, because I know a lot of older adults just don't enjoy using technology a whole lot
Right.
for good reason. And so I wanted something that was simple, but then it showed them what they should be doing on a daily basis. And so my husband has developed that. It is just a simple app. You pull it up, you click on the activity button, and there it pulls up a video of the exercise, and then you click on it when you're done, and it takes you to the next one. So it just guides you through it. It also gives the trainer feedback. It comes back to me, and I'm able to see what they did as well. So what we've done is taken this app, and now it's in the hands of the caregivers. So I come in, I set up a program for the clients, And then the caregivers can carry that out on a daily basis. And it's simple. It's something they can both see the picture right in front of them, the video, and they
Right.
can both work at it together. And really the focus has been, let's make this as fun as possible too, because if so much of exercise can feel like a drudgery, but it doesn't need to be. It can be very fun. So we bring fun elements into it.
Right. I love that. And so, do you have any contact with the physical therapist before?
Yes. What I do when someone's transitioning out of physical therapy, I will get in touch with their physical therapist, and usually they're great about that, and they give me an idea of what they've had their client doing, their patient doing. Um, and oftentimes the person themselves can show me. They will have printouts from the physical therapist. And so we can incorporate those things into it. And then I take that and I build on it, and we make it into an ongoing program, and we throw in brain training and some balance work if they haven't been doing that. And so we just flesh it out into a regular fitness program that they can continue on their own.
Right. And then, so you have more of an intimate relationship with the patient and the caregiver
Hmm.
to help them along so they kind of know what to do. And like you said, make it fun. I actually have a personal experience in caring for somebody, a loved one that had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
They don't no longer live in our house, but at that point, and I didn't know how bad it was when she arrived. And so there were times that we needed to bring in a physical therapist. And I was right there because I knew intuitively that I need to pay attention because we need to continue this on in
Yeah.
order to keep her strong enough. It didn't matter if she remembered my name or not. It was okay. I want to keep your body strong. And, if I could do the mind, although that was um, a, a little bit trickier,
Hmm.
and incorporate those kind of things. So when I was doing that, I was like, okay, I got it. And I'd ask the questions. And then they came, I think, twice a week. So then I'm like, okay, we need to do this every day, not just the same exercises. And then I had to see, how can I make it fun, just
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah.
And so she would be kind of willing, so I would get my husband and we would do certain things. But when that physical therapy was ending, and the physical therapist said, you are the only one in all of my years that kept it going. They had one other like a son or daughter or whatever that did a little bit, but not the way but I'm like, well, this is my responsibility. She's my responsibility.
Wow.
And so I would have, then when it was done, Medicare wouldn't pay for it anymore and we were going to do it. So I would have like, just side steps, and I would have my husband next to her and I'm like, okay, let's go catch him. And then, we go down the room and then we come back and he's like, okay, now he's going to catch you. And, so I would hold her hands. So I would step with her. So, make sure she didn't fall, but
Yeah.
make that fun and have the balloon. And it's like, okay, now you
Yeah.
do it. And I would try and make up little games. So I really resonate with
Wow.
what you're doing and know that it's very important. And it was like 7 o'clock after dinner. I came into the room and I said, okay, we have to do that. Did I want to do it every day? Absolutely not. I don't want to do anything every day of my life, but I knew that was for her benefit. And so, and also with somebody like that, you need to have a routine. So it
Yes.
was routine and try and get fun and keep her strong. So I even had like my little workout steps. I had two little, one smaller and one bigger, and I would hold, how she would hold me, and I'm like, okay, step up and down. And she didn't remember step or whatever, but then she was mirroring my husband, and it's like, okay, so it was
Yeah.
just something, that was part of our life at the time. But so many people
Yeah.
don't have the time or the patience or the energy. And I feel like that's where you bridge the gap.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible what you did. That is so neat. Yeah. Honestly, that's the first time I've heard of that to that extent as well.
I'm
So way to
crazy.
go. It makes such a huge difference. But yeah, not everyone has the creativity or energy at the end of the day, or it just, um, yeah, direction, knowing how to do that. So yes, a lot of this is just providing the simple direction. It's nothing I do is rocket science at all. It's just, it's providing structure to something that really makes a big difference.
And then how long are you with the patient or the person and their caregiver? So you go ahead and create a plan, and then you have the app so you know what they're doing. So what's your role from there?
Yeah. So we have levels anywhere from me coming in once a month to me being in their home 3 times a week, and a few steps in between that. So it really depends. We want to make it as accessible for everyone as possible. And so that's why we've offered that once a month option. And also a lot of times if there's caregivers like you, they've got it. Like you can do a lot of those things. And so the people that have a lot of drive and energy and ability to do that, then the once a month option can be really good. Um, I will say that I don't ever recommend that people are doing really tricky balance type of things with
Right.
their loved ones or their clients. Those are things that are reserved for a trainer or someone that's been certified in that area. So yeah.
Yeah. And so you give them things that are doable. And then
Mhm.
at some point, if they're consistent, then the person will reach that plateau. And then is that when you come in again and go, okay, well, let's reevaluate and
Yes.
let's add something else and teach the caregiver kind of how to help them with that next level, if
Yes.
that's the case.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the app is fabulous because what it does is the caregiver will record, say that I've told them let's try for 10 reps. Well, maybe the individual can do 12 reps, and so I will see that information gets back to me, so I know that, oh, great, it's time to progress this to either we're going to do more or we're going to add some weight here, or maybe we'll shift the exercise so that it's a little bit more challenging. So I will do that at a minimum once a month.
Okay.
Um, and and so we're kind of keeping with the same program for a month, but then we're making sure that we progress it and add that in on a regular basis, so that they aren't staying static and the program isn't getting boring. It's staying fresh and fun.
Right. Right. So then can you share maybe a client transformation that still gives you the goosebumps?
Oh yes, I think one of people I think, and I'll change your name just because I didn't ask permission.
Right, absolutely. We don't need names, but feel
Okay.
free to just name something.
Okay. Yes. I went to one particular client and she had her family had asked me to come out and visit, and she was clearly very hesitant.
Okay.
And she even told me I offer free consultations. So I love to talk to people, even if they are a little hesitant, because oftentimes what this will happen. And she said to me, oh, I've never exercised. I don't really like to exercise. And I said, well, just give me an opportunity. What I do is it will feel very different. And so we started working together. And after the first session, she was amazed. And she said to me, I can't believe that I can do these things. She had just assumed that my training looked like going to Gold's Gym or something and
Right.
and lifting 100-pound weights. And so I think she didn't realize that what I'm doing is at her level, and it's fun and it's engaging, and you actually feel energized afterwards. And so we've continued to work together. I've been with her over a year. At when I first started working with her, she was scared to walk outside. She was struggling with
Oh,
balance. She had trouble bending, getting up and off the floor. She takes daily walks. She loves it, 20, 30 minutes, and then she can easily get up and off the floor. She enjoys it. She often will text me with how much she's enjoying the exercises and how she looks forward to it. She enjoys using the app to be able to see what she can do on her own.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, so it's delightful. And I've seen that multiple times over and over, that a lot of people realize that this can actually be something that's not only meaningful and life changing. They gain the independence and the freedom back, but it's also fun, something that they can look forward to.
Right. And they can do right at home.
Yes,
They don't have to
absolutely.
go drive. So this person that you were telling us about, what's the age range that she's in?
She is 81.
Okay. So she's gone her whole life never exercising because
Yeah.
she's afraid of it. And
Yes.
now and how sad that she was afraid to walk outside, balance,
Right.
or, anything. And now in her 80s, I'm assuming she's like, see ya, I'm going for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's really neat. And that's not the first time that's happened, that I am actually the first person they've ever worked out with.
Oh, right.
And so, yeah, but they find that they do enjoy it. So,
Was there any other medical condition, or is it just that it was her age and just not ever using her muscles in a structured way that caused that where she was in general?
yeah, no, there no medical issues. I
Okay.
think for her, a lot of it was just fear and uncertainty. I mean, she's expressed multiple times. She had tried to join a gym. She didn't know what to do at the gym. So she felt awkward and didn't want to stay there. And so, so often it's just people just need a little bit of guidance. And then
Right.
they realize, oh, I actually can do this and it's fun.
Right. So do you have mostly those type of clients, or do you have more people with maybe dementia or other ailments that compound being a little bit more difficult to help them? And I mean, that's why they
Mhm.
would have a caregiver.
Yeah, right. Yes. I would say it's about 50-50. A
Okay.
lot of people come to me when they're just starting to notice that things are a little off and they don't want to progressively get more unstable. And so that's probably about 50% of the people. The other half are dealing with a lot more serious and difficult issues. And yes, some of them having professional caregivers, some of them, the woman I mentioned, her family helps care for her, but not a professional caregiver. But
Right.
yeah, so it's both really.
So when you come in to that 50% or so that have the more serious, whether it's cognitive or other diseases or um, ailments, or I'm not even thinking of the word, is it more for the caregiver than the patient or client if they don't have their all the wherewithal to be able to
Mhm.
do it themselves and to even know they need to do it? They just know that they want to get up and do something, and then they're stumbling and everything. as
Yeah.
as a caregiver, you know that you need to, unless you're going to do go sit in the chair and be quiet, and
Hmm.
just sit there, and that because I know where you are and I know what you're doing, and you still have to get up and go to the bathroom and everything, but
Yeah.
it's like, I don't want you to move. If it's that's a whole other thing, but the caregiver knows that they're gonna get out, unless they just can't get out of bed,
Yes.
they're going to get up, they're going to do things. So it's to our benefit to make sure, whether they remember that they exercised or got strong, it's to keep them strong in general, because there are times that you won't be right there when they get up and
Absolutely.
move.
Absolutely. And yeah, you know, falls are such a big deal. You know that. Most people know that, but 1 in 4 people over the age of 65 fall every year, and that can be so devastating. And really, it's the difference between keeping those, it can be the simple difference between just keeping your legs strong and not. And so, yes, I would say that a lot of the StrongWon at Home program, a lot of that is for the caregiver. It's because it gives them a meaningful and structured way to help their loved one or their client, and and a different way to engage them too. I think especially a lot of times with cognitive decline, people don't know exactly what to do, and so having a structured program that you can bond together with is can be a lot of fun and meaningful for both people as well.
And that's what I was going to say. It goes beyond just getting them physically, keeping them strong enough to be able to walk around.
Mhm.
It's providing a connection.
Yes, yes, for sure. And without them having to feel like they're just doing one more thing. They have to keep up with one more thing. This is something that's it's just accessible. It's right there. It's already ready. All you do is open the app and there's the things that you can do. And
Right.
so it keeps it very easy for them.
And I know the ones that have cognitive decline, they don't remember that they did things, but what they do remember is how they felt
Yes.
with that person or that thing. So they don't remember that they did something, but it's still, if you are able to approach it in a way that's more kind of fun, it's not like, okay, well, we got to do this, we got to make it a little bit fun. And if they're laughing and if they're having fun, they kind of remember that feeling. They don't know where it was or how they got there, but that's where the bonding comes in, and that's what it seems like you're providing as well.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And you nailed it with they remember the feeling for sure. And that makes it so meaningful for both of them.
Right. So then you talked about the 3 B's: body, brain, and balance, and that's one of your signature monikers, I guess.
Yeah. Mhm.
So which improves first, and why does that matter?
Hmm. Well, we always start with strengthening the body.
Okay.
So, because your muscles control your entire everything in your body, your movement, and so I definitely that plays into the balance in such a huge way.
Mhm.
And also physical exercise, when you move your body, it actually strengthens the brain as well. And so, really centralizing everything around that, and it is a way to reach all the different aspects of our body. So
Right.
yes, but I would say all of them are interchangeable because if you mindset affects so much of how your body feels and how your body reacts, and so a lot there all those three things are very interchangeable. They all affect each other. And so really focusing on just incorporating them all together is what I like to do so that we're hitting it from all angles.
Right. And then this is such a unique program. And so here you are with something new, and the traditional physical therapy, and then caregivers. So anything new always has resistance. So I'm just wondering, what resistance did you face when you first started partnering trainers with caregivers, and then how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that resistance would be just not understanding quite because it is out of the box a little bit.
Yes.
We've tended to in the medical world really compartmentalize things, and there's not often a great continuum of care. People aren't everyone's kind of siloed. And so trying to explain to people that no, I'm actually trying to bridge that gap. we're making a connection here. But that's just a new concept for a lot of people that are used to the traditional way of that the medical world has operated.
I fully agree. So I love when people think outside the box and doing good, and that's what seems like your program is. And that's why I kind of asked the question, because a lot of the medical side, they are very stuck in their ways. There is no wiggle room at all. It's this or that, and that's it. And you come in, kind of sneak in the middle,
Right.
and you go, "Hello, I'm here to help." So that had to be tough. When did you start StrongWon at home?
It's only a couple of months old, and we only officially launched it with our first in-home care partner last week. So it's a baby. It's brand new.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you were already doing it kind of on your own, and now you're trying to get the different partners and get yourself in there so you can educate and
Yeah.
then help bridge the gap.
Yes. And part of that is doing training sessions for the caregivers. So a couple of weeks ago, I did my first training for the caregivers at Home Watch Caregivers. And so and that will be part of it when someone has a loved one that's home and they're caring for them just at home. That will be part of the program too, is consulting with them and teaching them some basics of how they can help. And really, it's not caregivers aren't expected to be personal trainers or physical
Right.
therapists. They're
Right.
simply workout partners. And I like to try to encourage the caregivers that you are trying to be the best workout partner that you ever knew. The person that's, hey, let's go to the gym. It'll be fun. And so that's who you are. That's your role. It's not having to be in the role of the personal trainer, but more of just the fun partner.
Right. Right. Okay, so does any of the insurance, Medicare, or anything like that cover your involvement?
So far, no, but we are seeking some avenues potentially through long-term care insurance. So we'll see how that plays out. That is our absolute hope and desire that it would be covered. Oftentimes, unfortunately, still this is viewed as preventative, and preventative things are not covered
Right.
usually. So
It
that
always boggles my mind, something like that, because at some point, if someone isn't getting this kind of care, they are going to wind up in the hospital, and
yeah,
that costs a whole lot more than trying to keep them strong in different ways. The healthcare system is crazy.
yeah, you said it.
And to be honest, looking into homes and other things, when not everybody can have be a caregiver at home. And
Right.
at some point, whether it's because of the ailment is gone too far for the caregiver, a family member or anything, or that they don't have options, then there's care homes that they can go into in different stages. And those are astronomically expensive.
Yes.
And the average person, I don't think, has that kind of money, which is why a lot more elderly are at home, and then a child or somebody has to kind of stop working. And now you lose that income. It's just a crazy cycle. And
Yes.
so, again, if we can thwart getting to those points, or at least delay it as much as possible by doing things we already know, and the medical field knows these things, they just
Mhm.
it's a machine.
It is. Yeah.
So it just
Well,
boggles.
and yeah. I think so often too, just people lack the guidance. So I think I will hear so often that, oh, my doctor told me I should be working out or I should be working on balance, but I don't know what to do. And oftentimes maybe there's a couple of handouts, but it stops there and there's not really specific guidance. And I know they have all sorts of time constraints. But yes, it is so huge for prevention. I had one client that used to say, "You're my insurance policy." And there's so much truth in that because yes, if you do these things, if you take care of your body, it makes such a difference. And you can continue to live at a very high level of freedom with movement in your brain and body if you work at it throughout your life.
Right. So what's an example of somebody who's not a fit for this program?
Um, I will oftentimes, I'm not saying they're not fits, but sometimes people will have pretty serious conditions that really should be dealt with longer in physical therapy. And so if there's certain modalities that are needed to help heal, or just things that require a lot more like hands-on manipulation, that type of therapy, then I will often have my clients start there. I work closely with a physical therapist here in town that partners with me in that, and so he'll take people that is a better fit to start there, and then once they're ready, they transition to me. So that oftentimes I will have to say, this is going to be great, but let's delay it by a month. I'm going to have you start here, and then you'll be nice and ready to work with me. So I would say with that. Also, I've worked with people at all stages of cognitive decline. I think in the later stages, it does get a little more difficult once a person if a person doesn't have the ability to follow directions, then that's when it gets a little trickier. But even then, I've had some really meaningful interactions with people at later stages of dementia. So, but in general, this program is probably better for the early to mid stages if there's cognitive decline.
Okay. And then who are your ideal clients?
I would say that anybody that is they're starting to notice changes in their body, and but they have the desire to improve that, and they're willing to work a little bit at it. They're willing to be consistent. I think that's what makes a client ideal, is just the awareness that they can do something about their situation and they're willing to do that. And when someone has that kind of attitude, really we can make huge strides.
Right. So how would they know that you even exist?
I am
Since
trying to
that's
get
so
the
new.
word. Yeah, help me out with that.
I got your back.
Yes, I'm part of the Senior Resource Council. They are an excellent organization here in town that partners together. So we're just a bunch of businesses that we all serve seniors, and we refer to each other. We even refer when there's really competing businesses. We try to find our clients the best fit. And so I get a lot of referrals from people within my network from that. And then I get a lot of referrals from previous clients or people that I'm working with that refer to somebody else. So that's my main avenues at this point.
Okay. Okay. And if they have is it FSA or the healthcare that
Spending
they, yes, that's it. Are you under that? Could you be
Yes.
under that?
Yes,
Okay.
I've definitely had clients that use that for this purpose.
Okay.
So, yes.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah, I think but it's hard. Even when you go like holistic, it's helping your body in a different way, kind of
Mm-hmm.
not throwing things at symptoms, but it's helping you hopefully get to the root cause, but none of that is covered under insurance.
Right.
And, is it a better avenue? I'm going to be neutral, but I have strong feelings. So it's it's like, okay, then do you do that? But now even healthcare and premiums and copays and all that stuff are getting ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's really hard to take care of your health and put that first when things are just out of range in general. So if there's the ability to, okay, you're going to have to pay anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and then do it where you're continuing to be independent and
Yes.
healthy,
Yeah.
there's a trade-off,
Yes. For
and
sure.
each one has to decide that. Okay, so how can people find you?
Yes, I have my main website is TogetherWon.com. So that's together and then WON.com. And then the Strong One at Home program, we have that the address to that is strong.togetherone.com. So it's just putting that strong right in front of the togetherone.com.
Right. And then is there a phone number that they could reach you at?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The best number is 719-243-2877.
Okay. And then I know on the strong.togetherone.com, there's a different number on there.
Yes, I have a Google number as well. So
Okay.
that goes to through the computer. So yeah, that's the 719-387-8883.
Right. I didn't want to give them the wrong number, but they can reach you at either one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is there anything that we missed that you really want my subscribers or listeners to know?
Um, one thing that I don't think I mentioned, and that is a lot of times caregivers don't have a lot of opportunity to move their body themselves. They're so busy caring for a loved one that they miss out on exercise. And so one of the intentions of this program too is you do it together. And when you're doing it, if you're doing it with your loved one, you're also strengthening your legs and your arms and your balance. And so that's one of the advantages of this as well. So you really looking at it as it's a program for your loved one, but it's also a sneaky way to get a little bit of training yourself. So
Right.
that can be a huge benefit.
Yes, definitely. We always hear it's a cliche. You can't take care of anybody else if you don't take care of yourself, and as a caregiver, depending on how bad the person is, that stuff does go to the wayside because your responsibility is that other person, not
Yeah,
necessarily you. So we know intuitively, yes, and people tell us, but when you're trying to put it into practice, that's not reality.
correct. Yeah.
So I love that your program is hitting both.
Yeah.
And then also, like I said, and you said, it it helps the connection too. If you're going to care for this loved one, you might as well make it where you have periods of joy and connection in there, regardless of what their state is. And that helps you emotionally and them
Yes, absolutely.
while we're moving. Okay, so anything else? I just want to make sure that you've got the platform here, you've got the audience. So if there's anything I missed, I want to make sure that you have the stage.
Okay, well, thank you. I think we covered it. I can't think of anything else, but appreciate
Okay,
it.
perfect. All right, Kristen. Thank you for sharing how TogetherWon is transforming aging in Colorado Springs. If you or someone you love wants to stay strong, steady, and independent, visit strong.togetherwon, and that's TogetherWon.com. or you can call the 719-387-8883 for more information. This conversation is exactly why I believe every local business has a story worth telling. Stories that change lives right here in our community. To discover more inspiring Colorado Springs businesses, subscribe at cos.towntidings.com. I'm Sandy Zuniga, celebrating our city, one business at a time, and I'll see you next week. Bye, Kristen.
Great. Bye. Thank you.